Om Shanti. It is amazing to see how Baba, through various ways, gets the message across to us. One, he gets it through the Murlis. The second, he gets us through the songs or the meditations. He also gets it to us through the various discourses that we listen and from the experiences of others. Baba actually shows us how it is a grace to be a yogi and how easy it is to live a yogi life. And today's Murli is 26th November 1994. The title of the Murli is The Practical Form of Godly Sustenance and the Power of Transformation is the Easy Yogi Life. The practical form, the Pratyaksh Swarup of Paramatam Palna and the Parivartan Ki Shakti is the Sahaj Yogi Jivan. Today, Bapdada is especially seeing the three lines of the special three types of elevated fortune on the forehead of each child. Ever since the Bhakti days, I remember the three lines on the Shivaling, the three lines of Ichha Shakti, Gyan Shakti, and Karma Shakti. The fortune of each child is constantly most elevated anyway, but the three lines are especially sparkling today. One is the line of fortune of godly sustenance, Paramatam Palna. The second is the line of fortune of the most elevated study. And the third is the line of fortune of attaining the most elevated directions. In this life, whether Lokik or Alokik, everyone has these three attainments in their life. They receive sustenance, teachings, and also directions. Through these three, every soul becomes an instrument to create his own present and future. From whom are you elevated souls receiving sustenance? You're being sustained with godly sustenance at every second. Just as God is the highest on high, so too godly sustenance is just as elevated. Who has become worthy of this godly sustenance? And how many have become worthy of it? The souls of the world say, Father. The souls of the whole world say, Father, but they do not become worthy of the sustenance or the study. Whereas you few souls have become worthy of this fortune. For how long do you receive godly sustenance in a cycle? I was asking, for how long do you receive godly sustenance in a cycle? You receive godly sustenance for this short time of the confluence age. Divine sustenance and human sustenance, that is, Daivi Palna and Manav Palna, are received during many births. But this elevated sustenance cannot ever be received again if it is not received now in the Sangam Yuga. Do you constantly experience the elevated line of such elevated fortune sparkling on your forehead? Or is it only sometimes? Do you wish to attain something for all time or for only some time? You wish to attain it for all time, do you not? So, should the effort for the attainment be of all the time or only sometimes? So, if you want something for all the time, is your Purusharth going to be for all the time or for some time? Should it be constantly intense or should it sometimes be ordinary and sometimes intense? What is the practical situation? There is a difference between what you desire and what happens practically, is there not? And we have many evidences of this as we live our life, that we desire something and we get something. And what we get, it's not what we desire. And what we desire is not what we always get. Why? Because our efforts are not in the direction of that attainment. In fact, you think about something a lot, but you do not maintain your awareness as much as you should. Do you have to become an embodiment of thoughts? That is Sochana Swarup, someone who just constantly keeps thinking. Or do you want to be an embodiment of awareness? That is Smriti Sarup. You are those who are going to become embodiments of awareness, are you not? So keep one thing in your awareness, that who wakes you up at Amrit Vela. The Father's love awakens you. The beginning of the day is so elevated, and the Father Himself is calling you to celebrate the meeting. He has a heart to heart conversation with you and fills you with power. So the beginning of every day is so elevated. Do you wake up with the Father's love? Or do you sometimes even wake up out of compulsion? In reality, it is the songs of love that awaken you. From Amrit Vela, the Father calls you with so much love. Sweet children, lovely children, come. Baba says, Meethe bacche, pyare bacche, aao. He awakens you and calls you with so much love. So imagine what the middle and end would be of someone who has such an elevated beginning every day. It would be elevated, would it not? Bap Dada was seeing to what extent the children have attained the fortune of sustenance of the present time. So, do you take as much benefit as you have attainments? In your dreams, too, you never thought that you would be worthy of such fortune. I am sure many of us, I can always tell about myself as I say this, that many of us may have never thought of being a part of the Brahmin life, doing what we're doing today, and living the kind of life, and getting the kind of palna that we're getting today. It was beyond your thoughts, and yet you attained it so easily. I can vouch for that. The practical form of the Father's sustenance of love is the easy yogi life. Whomever you have love for, you cannot bear to see or hear of that one in a difficult situation or going through something difficult. So the Father also made the difficult easy, did he not? It is constantly easy. And how did it make it easy? He made it easy by practicing it himself first. So, constantly let the speed of your effort be intense. If today your effort is very good, whereas tomorrow the percentage reduces slightly, would you call that constantly easy? Then, who makes it difficult all the time? You yourself make it difficult, do you not? So, what is the reason? You have the habit of thinking, and you sometimes keep the sanskars of an embodiment of awareness emerged and sometimes merged. So, an embodiment of awareness is an embodiment of power. An embodiment of thinking is not an embodiment of power. Awareness is power. Only having the thoughts are not enough. That awareness, that attentiveness, that agility in what you are doing, what you are thinking, what you're saying is where the power is. So, why do you become forgetful? You are compelled by your habits. If you're not strong, that is majboot, you would then be compelled, that is majboor. When you're strong, there will be no compulsion since your original habit is not that of forgetfulness. You are the deity souls who attain the reward of being embodiments of awareness. You do not make efforts to have remembrance, but you attain the reward of being embodiments of awareness. So, you have the practical life of being embodiments of awareness in the beginning, and when you, the eternal souls, come down from the supreme abode, the sanskars of you special souls are then automatically those of embodiments of awareness. At the end, too, you become embodiments of awareness, do you not? So, eternally, in the beginning and at the end, during all three aspects of time, you are embodiments of awareness. Forgetfulness in, in the middle. It comes in the middle. So, should the original and eternal form be easy, or should the middle form be easy? You're thinking about this, yes, I am a soul. But there is a difference between that and in conducting yourself, in seeing and speaking as an embodiment of awareness. Therefore, have the awareness of being the souls who have a right to godly sustenance. Maya takes over, and we don't even realize that's the reason we distance ourselves from that awareness, from that easiness. When Bapdada checks the chart, sometimes the line is high and sometimes low. Sometimes there is a stain and sometimes it is straight. Sometimes there is no stain on the paper of your life, but at other times there is nothing but stains. It is full of stains. One after another, the second and then the third, all you see are stains. After that, जो दिखता है फिर सिर्फ दाग ही दिखते हैं. Why? You make a mistake, but it doesn't end there. You make a mistake, but then, even after making a mistake, you continue to think about it. You think why, what, how. You get into the wastage of those questions of what's already happened. You get into it should not be like this, it should be like this. You do not leave the situation alone in any way. There is so much of attachment there. There is so much of things that you want to go your way, and then repentance or guilt about why it did not go in a certain way. Then you feel cheated, deprived, and then you keep thinking about it for years. The situation leaves you and goes away, but you do not let go of the situation. It is like, if I can say, problem is a tree. Consider there is a tree, and you have your hands around the tree, and then you say, I'm not able to leave the tree. Is the tree holding you, or are you holding the tree? So is the problem holding you, or are you holding the problem? Then, for as long as you become the embodiment of those thoughts, you do not become an embodiment of awareness accurately. And the stains begin to accumulate one after another. The duration of the paper is very short, but because of having the sanskars of having wasteful thoughts, you increase the duration of the paper. Even when in Lokik, when you give an exam in a school or a college or university, if you don't know the answer, the question itself seems too long, the paper seems too long. As soon as that second passes by, your state should be completely free from any wasteful thoughts. Now let the sanskar emerge. Do you know how to become free from sinful thoughts? Whilst keeping your elevated fortune in your awareness, remain constantly cheerful. Constantly bring your godly sustenance into your awareness. You know how to listen, you know how to think, but what is the difference? Bap Dada continues to see the games of the children. Do you check at night the games that you played throughout the day? Do you write your potamen? The toys of Maya are very attractive. You begin to play with the toys of Maya. At first, Maya plays with you with a lot of love, and that's the deceit. Then, after she has defeated you in playing games, you become conscious again. The majority of you, especially, have one weakness in one particular power. You move along very well. Sometimes you walk and sometimes you fly. You continue to move forward, but whilst flying, why do you come down? What is the main reason for this? It is the lack of the power of transformation. You understand when something is not accurate, but although you do understand it, you lack bringing about the transformation. You have brought about transformation in your Brahmin life, and so would any of you say that you are not a Brahmin? What do you all write as or your name as? You write BK, do you not? And you feel pride in it as you write it. You consider yourself to be Brahmins, do you not? The power of transformation is essential for the tests that come in Brahmin life. When you have wasteful thoughts, you understand that they are wasteful. But just as there is great force in a river or an ocean, so the flow of wasteful thoughts is so fast that they pull you, they suck you into it. No matter how much you try to stop them, they still continue to flow. You understand and you also think that it is not right. You understand that it causes a lot of loss, but you still continue to flow with them. What is the reason for this? The lack of the power of transformation. The first special transformation is the transformation of your form. Look at the first transformation of your form. I am not a body, but a soul. Recognize yourself as the soul. This is the first transformation of your form. Check this. When there is the form of body consciousness, whether you're able to stabilize yourself in soul consciousness or whether you flow away, check. Are you able to stabilize yourself in soul consciousness or do you flow away? If the power of transformation were to be used in 1 second, so much of your time and thoughts would be saved. What delays it is the grip of Maya. From being wasted, they would be accumulated in the best way. The first transformational power is that of the form and of your nature. The old nature deceives you in your effort making life. We must underline this. Your old default nature, the nature that you've been having since the time you had awareness in this birth, that is something that deceives you in your purusharth of living an easy yogi life. You even understand that your nature is not right and that it deceives you from time to time. That is how you end up doing sometimes things that you know they're not right. You understand this, but nevertheless, you come under the influence of your default nature. Then, in order to justify yourself, you say, that was not my intention. My nature is like that. I do not wish it, but my nature is like that. That is the kind of excuses you give. Your birth has changed. You became Brahmins, and so your birth has changed. Has it not? Imagine if Baba would say that. That was not my intention. That has been my nature. Would you accept it? Of course not. Baba gets to be Baba because he's free and beyond all this. Your relationships changed. Your father changed. Your mother changed. Your family changed. But your nature has not changed. What royal words do you then use? Standard. My nature is like this. I have been like this since so many years, almost like that from birth. So, the first weakness is of the transformation of the form. The second is the transformation of your nature. The third is the transformation of thoughts. Form, nature, and thoughts. Transform the wasteful into powerful within a second. It's that second that decides whether it is waste, whether you want to go with power. Many think that it was just a storm of half an hour, that it did not last long, only half an hour. It only lasted for 15 minutes. However, whether it was for half an hour or 15 minutes, weakness for 15 minutes or half an hour creates a sanskar. When a construction is made, if you see a tall building is constructed, it doesn't take time for it to fall down, but it takes so many years to build it up. The same way, to build up a sanskar over a period of time takes time, but to get into your default nature sanskar, it doesn't take time. When someone becomes physically weak again and again, he becomes weak for all time. So 15 minutes is not a small matter. Each second of the confluence age is equal to many years. Baba has been repeating this again and again. Each second of the confluence age is equal to many years. So do not become careless in this way. It did not last for long, but how much did you lose? When you speak of multi millions in one step, how many steps could you take in 15 minutes and how many multi millions would you lose? You keep a very good account of your accumulation, thinking that you have accumulated multi millions in every step. So also keep an account of your loss and what you are losing. Be very attentive to this because this is very subtle and silent. However, the sanskars pull you even against your conscious wish. Whatever repeatedly happens will take on the form of a sanskar. So, transform your sanskars. Do not just think about it, I should not do this, what can I do? Because only thinking will make no difference. You do not say, what can I do? Think and do it practically. You say that you have to put a full stop to the past. You give this knowledge to one another, do you not? When anyone comes and tells you anything that has happened, you say, it's all right. Just put a full stop. What power do you need? The power of transformation. Those who have the power of transformation are constantly pure and gentle and humble. Bapdada also told you earlier that those who are able to mold themselves are real gold. So check whether you are able to use the power of transformation at a time of need or whether you keep thinking about it after the time of need. You need to increase the power of transformation. Those who have the power of transformation are loved by everyone. They will be easy in their thoughts. As you move forward, you remain engaged in service, do you not? What form does an obstacle take even in service? My idea, my plan, my service is so good, and yet why was my idea not accepted? Would such a person be called real gold? When there is the consciousness of mind, it means that alloy is mixed with it. So, when alloy is mixed in real gold, does it remain real anymore? Does it remain pure anymore? Does it have any value? There is then so much difference. Even when you go to sell gold or when you go to buy gold, the first thing that you would want to check is the level of purity. In this too, you need to consider the time and the atmosphere. It is easy to bring about transformation in big matters, but you need to understand the time and the atmosphere in every situation, in every relationship, and in every connection. And then bring about transformation in yourself. This is what it means to be and become number one. Do not think this one should also understand. This one should also transform himself. Why should I be the only one to transform myself? This is again Maya. Those who take the initiative are Arjuna. If you transform yourself in this, then this transformation is the sign of being victorious. A couple of days back only, we had this Murli which talked about Arjuna. Arjan karna matlab dharan karna, kamana, to earn. Do you understand? Acha, Baba is addressing it to teachers. All the teachers are constantly embodiments of knowledge and embodiments of remembrance. Just as the Father comes as the teacher, so too your instrument teacher is the same as the Father. Such a profound thing Baba says, the same as the Father. You're not like the Father, but you are instrument teachers. Even when teachers are conducting any session, it's the presence of Baba. The teachers are only instruments. So the speciality of teachers is that they have the feeling of being an instrument and of being humble. No, they abhiman there. A successful teacher is one who has a pure and clean nature. Now, especially underline having a pure and clean nature. No matter what happens, your nature should always remain pure and clean. This pure and clean nature is a sign of humility. So now underline a pure and clean nature. That's the homework for today. That's the homework that you take on to transform your nature and make it a pure and clean nature. Completely cool. The praise of coolness is remembered in the form of good goddess of coolness. To have a pure and clean nature means to have a cool nature. The situation may be one that has force, but if you remain pure and cool, you would then be called a successful teacher. So, what is Bapdada making you underline even now? A pure and clean nature. Do you understand? Acha, to all the souls in all four directions who are embodiments of awareness, to the elevated souls who, within a second, bring about self transformation through the power of transformation, to the experienced souls who constantly experience yoga to be easy, to the elevated souls who constantly maintain the zeal and enthusiasm of being close to and becoming the same as the Father. To all souls, Bap Dada's love, remembrance, and namaste. And was from us, Brahmin children, lots of love, remembrance, and namaste to our dearest, sweetest Bap Dada. Thank you, Baba. Thank you. Om Shanti. So let's take a few moments to go through what Baba's told us today in this Murli, and we shall come back with churning. Okay, whoever wish to unmute and share, you can do that.
Om Shanti Baiji. Good morning.
Good morning, sister.
For me, I really liked the point where every morning who comes and wakes you and with so much of love It's God's love which makes me move on in life. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti Bhai.
Yes,
Today
sister.
Baba is speaking about pure and clean in nature. So can you explain about the difference between pure and clean?
Okay. Would anyone like to address that? If there are two different words which are there in the dictionary, if there are two different words of pure and clean, what does it mean? Because had it been the same, then it would have been one word. Clean actually has to do with something that is absolutely neat. It's well managed. There is no impurity in there. Sorry, that is the purity part I'm talking about. But clean is when everything is sorted. And purity is something in which there is nothing which would make it impure. So the best way I can explain in my experience is that when I am someone who's entertaining some kind of thoughts, then I would look at it whether the thoughts are impure or pure. And when I catch myself and I see that, okay, I'm moving from impurity to purity, it shows up in my body language, in the way I relate to people. It also shows up in the way I speak to people. And there it will show up in the way I would be organized. And that would show up as something that would be clean. If that is what I could put it across in my own experience, sister.
Thank you,
Brother,
brother. Om
brother,
Shanti.
can I share?
Yes, please, please.
This question is quite interesting. The difference between pure and clean. In what answer was coming to me while you were talking, it is very close to each other. And I got reminded of our English school teachings when we were young, where we used to learn cleanliness is next to godliness. And actually, you begin with clean because the first thing is that you keep your environment clean, you keep yourself clean. It's more than the physical element. Like, this is the way I'm reacting to it. That Baba is probably telling that you first cleanse yourself at the first level, which is the physical level, the environment level. And then when you go deep down into your thoughts and your purity actions, that is more linked to purity, because the soul cannot really become clean. You can't do a jhadu pocha on the soul in the literal sense, but you start with cleanliness and then the purity will automatically get connected, and the thoughts and your actions are the ones which are pure, whereas cleanliness is something which is more leading you towards purity.
Yeah.
Is the way I look at it. Baba is probably meaning that context.
Yeah, what sister is saying is that cleanliness would be that when something is not dirty. And
Yes.
purity would something where there is no flaw, there's no imperfection, there's no malice there.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you, sister. Did you get your answer, sister?
Okay, brother. Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks, sister.
Om Shanti.
Om.
From today's Murli, I like that point that whenever you attach my with anything, then real gold will be mixed up with alloy and it won't be pure anymore. Usually what happens whenever we think of some plan of service or something that we contribute to anything, we just justify ourselves that it is my creation, so I should hold on it. And if I will not stand by it, then who will stand by it? And by that we attach to our ideas, our contribution, anything that we create or contribute, and then we can't be detached from it. And that's why whenever it gets something like rejected by rejected your ideas, anything that something in oppose of that, then we think that it is my enemy or something like it's a problem. And that's why we create maya, or we can say we create problems for ourselves by our own perspective and viewpoint, that it is mine, so I should be holding on it and I should stand by it. But today I did clarification that whenever you are doing something or creating something, though you are creator, but you are just the instrument, you are nimit, you are not actually possessing something. It is just that you are using it. And that's why we do have to keep in mind that we are not the possessor of anything. We are just the instrument. We are playing the part. Nothing is mine and nothing can be mine. So this is really good point for me. Thank you.
Very nice point, Jagdish Bhai. Thank you for sharing that.
Adding on to what Jagdish Bhai said right now, he mentioned anywhere that we say it's mine, it's been possessive and been attached. And in today's Murli, Baba also made one point where he said, why I have this question that why only I should do a thing. So, for example, in any relationship, if there is some kind of conflict happening, most of the time I will say that, okay, why should I always bend down? Now, the moment I say why I always only I should bend down, there is a maya there. There is a factor of mind. So practically, how I look at to this point is do whatever best you can do in your awareness and never ask a question why I. That's a point of practice for me. Another point in today's Murli that Baba speaks about is always remain cool. And where I could connect this is a pot of water. That is where Baba says today that transform yourself from being a thinker to be a person who is aware, being in soul conscious space. So, like a pot of water, when you need the water, you drink it. So, what do you want to drink here from this pot of water? Is the awareness of I being a thinker, or the awareness of I aware of what who I am, my form, my sanskar of being a Brahmin soul. So that's what is another point that I will take on from today's Murli. Transforming from being a thinker to being in the awareness of who I am, Baba's child. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, very beautiful, Sister Raki. Absolutely agree. And Baba today said, everything is being changed. You have changed your family, you have become alokik, and you've started enjoying soul consciousness. Everything you feel like you are being sustained by Almighty God. You're eating with Him, sleeping with Him. He wakes you up in His loving, cozy lap. But what about your sanskaras nature? So many times you keep saying, it's my nature. Everything is being changed except your nature. So that's kind of a reminder. And for that, Baba says, Baba told Yukti also how we can change. He said, suppose some problem comes, it comes for momentarily. You just keep it in your mind and intellect. That has to be really golden aged now, just empty. And you keep it nourishing and sustaining those bad memories or your actions, your errors. And that's how Baba says every moment of confluence age is so valuable, worth many years. So children just get that awareness that Rakhi sister was telling, who am I? It shouldn't be only in the thoughts. That purity level shouldn't be only in thoughts. It should be in my awareness, in my essence. Om Shanti.
Any other points? Any other things that you could see for yourself in today's Murli?
This is just one I want to clarification. Just that Anshu's sister has said that whenever something error or something that is holding on to our past that comes to in our mind, we just stuck to it and we waste our time in that. So I have some problem like that, that I just when I come to past memory, I just being lost in that past memory, and sometimes waste like 10 minutes, 15 minutes whenever I don't get some alarm from other external situation. I just thinking on that. So what can we do for it? Because just Baba has just clarified that you go on why, how, you just go on in the chain of WH questions about it, and you just thinking that it is right, you are whatever you are thinking. So how to get settled whatever your memories are, that or what it can be technique that practically we can do?
Okay. Would anyone would like to answer that to Jagdish Bhai?
Yes,
Share your
brother.
experience.
Yes,
Yes.
brother. Very instantly, what I do, standing before the mirror image, if I can talk to myself, look, who am I? I'm not this. Within, it's a sparkling star who is much more positive, and start feeding myself those beautiful somans Baba has given. I'm Master Almighty Authority. I'm obstacle free. I'm a winner. I'm victorious. I'm beautiful. I'm more competent than these problems and this waste. I was not meant to be this in this Brahmin life. Those kind of things. This is the easiest. If that doesn't help, second thing I do, uh, I take Bab Dada's drishti, and that helps me actually. When I see and talk to Baba, after some time, I start listening to him, and he tells me, look, these situations, this waste is coming out of your 63 birth of, you had been living like that, but you have to live much more beautiful life. Children, don't worry. Chinta mat karo. I'm sitting there. I'm there standing, holding your hand. And then Baba gives that empowering drishti. Then I get instantly that elevated stage, obstacle free and waste free. Om Shanti.
So Jagdish Bhai, one of the ways to look at it is that when something happens and you go into that thought process, look at uh, yourself and ask yourself, how much are you losing per second? If every second is worth multi-millions, then is whatever you're thinking about, is that worth it, that you lose that much of multi-millions?
Om Shanti.
Yes,
Um,
Anilaben.
I just wanted to add, as you said, so if for this Baba said it's like, adding a stain upon a stain, like when you make a mistake and you keep thinking upon it, why did I do this and what, and all these questions. So sometimes it's really difficult to put a full stop in a second. Baba said, put a full stop in a second. But then I think this needs practice, and to overcome this, you need a stock of pure thoughts in your mind, and it doesn't come
at that very moment. It's a process kind of. So for this, what I feel is when you have a stock of pure thoughts, which means you can have it by, reading the Murli or everyday Sakar Murli as well, maybe 3 times or more number of times if you can, but at least 3 times if you read, then you have that stock of pure thoughts in your mind and you have those thoughts to churn upon. And then it's easy to remain free from waste thoughts. That's what I feel. And I practice that. Thank you.
So Jagdish bhai, it would be more like having on adding to what Sharmila Ben said is have that willingness to let go. One is that you want to let go, and one is that commitment to let go. When you want to let go, that want remains a want till the time you entertain it. And a commitment is you will do it no matter what. Yes, Jagdish bhai, I think you've sent a message. Let me check. Got it. Okay. Thank you, Jagdish bhai, for asking this. Okay. Anyone else, or should we proceed towards the meditation at 6:25? Okay, Rakivan, can you put the music, please?
Yes.
You'll have to put on the volume, Hamiben. No, you've not put on the audio button on. Yeah. Om Shanti. Let us all sit in the awareness of the kind of Palna we all Brahman children are getting. Never must have we thought about our lives getting shaped out the way it has shaped out today. We could have continued living the life of ignorance, but there is a reason, a purpose for which you have been chosen. The Supreme Father has chosen us on the basis of our merits to be Brahman, so Farishta, and Farishta, so Devta. Are we relating to ourselves as deities of the future? Are we thinking, talking, and acting like one? If we are, then are we ongoingly like that? Let's bring forth that royalty in each one of us that makes our Supreme Father proud of our Purusharth to be Bapsamya. proudest moment for a father is when he gets recognized, known, and called as the father of that child. Let's be that child who is a self-introduction of our Father. Each moment, let us be in gratitude and experience of the support, the palna, the partnership, and the experience of combined Swarup that Baba gives us. That confidence that I am not alone. In everything I do, I have the supreme powers, supreme energy with me. I get to be the mightiest at all times, each moment. Because what I do, what I think, and what I say is all coming from getting dedicated to my Supreme Father. I have no words to express how lucky I am to be a part of the Brahmin family, to be the chosen one in the confluence age, to be a Brahmin. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Brahma. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Okay, Rakiban, are you running the flyer?
Yeah, we are.
All right. So, as you all may be aware, we have our very dear Stephen brother, who's from Australia. He's a dedicated brother, and he has taken up the request and our invitation, and we really have a privilege to have his presence to conduct a session tomorrow on collective healing. It's an experience to listen to Stephen brother, and my invitation to all of you is to spread the word around and have as many people come and take the benefit of getting contributed. So tomorrow at 5:30 we shall be with Stephen brother, and we'll be there to listen to his experiences and his teachings. Om Shanti, everyone. Have a nice day. See you tomorrow at 5:30.
Om Shanti, divine family.